Hi everyone, this is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time and welcome to my channel. Once again, I want to thank all our viewers and subscribers for making Ignition Time one of the fastest growing channels on YouTube, on politics, current affairs, on personal finance, on stimulus news and unemployment benefits. Now, to be honest, I actually thought hard about doing a video about this and announcing it on our channel because as a citizen reporter, me and my entire team, a lot of individuals are behind the scenes of these videos. We work very hard to bring you these videos. We pride ourselves in being bipartisan because whenever one side speaks, we present one side's point of view. Whenever another side speaks, and we present the other side's point of view. Because for me, it's not about the red or the blue. It's about the red, white, and blue. I'm not Democrat. I'm not Republican. I'm American. And I actually thought about breaking this story to my audience because I knew immediately there would be a section of the audience that would say, oh my God, we're against President Trump because President Trump is a very divisive figure. There's no one that we meet who goes, oh, he's okay. Nobody reacts like that. You either love this president or let's just say, don't like this president, to use it mildly, because there are individuals on both sides. Now, when I was breaking this story, I thought long and hard about how to present it in a way where I could present it as objectively as possible. So what I decided to do was I decided to take a news clip from, the president's preferred station, which is Fox News, and show you the clip from Fox News where you will hear the president's voice. That's number one. Number two, you'll hear from TV anchors and reporters who are essentially in favor of the president. And you'll actually see that the anchor as well as the reporter are both fairly stunned when reporting this news, because what I'm about to report to you is very stunning news. And unfortunately, we are in a news cycle where there's so much stunning news that we've sort of become numb. And again, like I said, I thought about releasing this video on our channel primarily because our channel is about trying to present a fair and balanced point of view. And look, if there is some other aspect to this, I'll be sure to present it. But I did decide to go ahead and present this anyway. And here's the big news. Here's the stunning news. And the news is that President Trump told the journalist Bob Woodward that he knew that this virus was way more deadly and contagious than the flu. He knew it while he continued to downplay its dangers to the public, according to Woodward's new book, Rage. And this is what the president said, and I quote, "I wanted to always play it down. I still like playing it down because I don't want to create a panic." Now, I want my viewers and subscribers to comment below and let me know what you think of this comment. Now, I know right now, because I knew before releasing this video what kind of a reaction there would be. I'm sure that there are supporters of the president who will be in favor of the president's approach because that's always been the case. This president is a figure where you're either on one side or the other. There's really no middle road. Or there'll be individuals who are like, this is reprehensible, this is unacceptable, so on and so forth. I want you to tell me in your own words in the comment section below what you think of this news. Again, let me emphasize, the president told Bob Woodward, this was actually back in February. Initial reports suggested that this was in March, but this was back in February where the president said, I wanted to always play it down. I still like playing it down because I don't want to create a panic. And so the president was interviewed 18 times by Bob Woodward between December 2019 and July 2020. And the president discussed the threat of the virus with a level of detail that he had not acknowledged to the public. In fact, he still hasn't acknowledged it to the public. And this is a fact, okay? Noting on the 7th of February that it was, I quote, deadly stuff and more deadly than even your strenuous flu. And that's basically the news. And again, it's quite surprising. What I'll do is I will be playing a video from Fox News, and you can watch that video on your screen in just a minute, where reporters and anchors from Fox broke this news, and we'll hear an audio recording of the president in his own voice. Now, I want to know from my viewers and subscribers what you think of these words from the president. This is an actual audio recording of the president. Now, as you know, the president has assured the public that it was under control and that it would go away. And the White House press secretary was in an interview today and was asked to comment on, what the president told Bob Woodward. And the White House press secretary defended the president today, saying that the president, at a time when you're facing this president, at a time when you're facing insurmountable challenges, it's important to express confidence. It's important to express calm. The president has never lied to the American public on COVID. The president was expressing calm, and his actions reflect that. Now, publicly, just to be clear, the president did compare this virus to the flu, and he argued that the cases and deaths from this pandemic were far less than the flu. But he said with the flu, nothing is shut down and the economy goes on. That's what the president tweeted on the 9th of March. Now, the president also told Woodward that the virus was transmitted through the air in the month of February. Yet in April, when the CDC began advising people to wear masks to stop the spread, the president continued to resist wearing a mask in public at that time, and he did endorse the mask as being patriotic in July. These are the words of the president. It goes through the air, Bob. That's always tougher than the touch. You don't have to touch things, right? But in the air, you just breathe the air, and that's how it's passed. This is stunning, guys. This is stunning for me to read and stunning for me to report. And my goal with this channel is to give you guys the news. Now, as my viewers and subscribers, I want you to think about this very carefully. Don't blame the messenger. Don't freak out at me because I'm trying to report both sides. Remember, I reported the response from the White House press secretary. I want you to comment in the comment section below. And for the 1% of you who think that I'm, anti-Trump or pro-Trump, honestly, I don't care. Okay, for me, what's important is reporting the news, even when it is stunning like this. I did talk about this in a video earlier. We are heading close to an election season, and if there's any ace in the hole from either side, from the Republicans or the Democrats, we're going to start to see it now. Am I saying this was a political move? No. I am saying that this is stunning, and this has the potential to impact the way we behave and the way we vote in November. I mean, it is stunning. I was stunned when I read it. And again, I thought twice about reporting it because I know 1% of my viewers are going to absolutely freak out. But the fact is that the president knew about the danger and, chose to essentially downplay it. And that was in an effort to not create panic. In the words of the press secretary, the president knew that it was transmitted through the air. And the president also said in a press briefing, this was earlier in the year, during a White House press briefing, that the virus surprised the whole world. I quote, and if these are words from the president at a White House press briefing at the start of the year, and if people would have known about it, it could have been stopped in place. It could have been stopped right where it came from, China, if we would have known about it, if they would have known about it. And on the 13th of April, the president told Woodward, I quote, "It's so easily transmissible, you wouldn't even believe it." 3 days later, the White House was releasing guidelines on how to start reopening the country after the pandemic shutdowns. I mean, this gets more explosive the more I read it. And the president also told Woodward in March that the virus posed a greater risk to young people than originally thought. Plenty of young people, the president said. The president has said publicly that that children are at low risk, as the president and the administration have asked for schools to reopen. Now, in February, the president acknowledged to Woodward, this is deadly stuff. And on that same day, the president tweeted that with warmer weather, the virus hopefully becomes weaker and then gone, after a conversation with the president of China. Also, and this was reported by Bob Woodward, Robert O'Brien, the National Security Advisor, informed President Trump on the 28th of January that this virus would be, I quote, "the biggest national security threat you face in your presidency." And so the president did tell Woodward in May that he did not recall being told that by O'Brien, but he said, "I'm sure he said it, nice guy." That's what the president said. Now, as you can imagine, the Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden slammed the president for his comments to Woodward at a campaign event today and said, "This was a life and death betrayal of the American people." Joe Biden said he knew and purposely played it down. Worse, he lied to the American people. He knowingly and willingly lied about the threat it posed to the country for months. And what House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said in response to this was as follows. What he said about the virus early on, he understood better than he let on. When he was calling it a hoax, his delay, distortion, and denial about the threat is responsible for many of the deaths and infections that we have today. This is stunning news. I report this to you with a heavy heart. And again, I'm trying to present both sides. Please understand this and let me know in the comment section below how you feel. Share this video with a friend or family member and let's hear their thoughts about this. I want to hear from my community. At a time like this, it is very hard, very difficult, very challenging for me to remain unbiased. And of course, I'm trying to remain as unbiased as possible because I'm trying to present you all sides as best as I can because this information just came out. So what I ask is you give me some credit for reporting this extremely challenging news in a manner that was as balanced as possible, because sometimes the news is so out of whack, so unbelievable, so stunning that it's easy for you to assume that, oh, I'm one-sided. If you look at my body of work, you will know that I've done my absolute best to present both sides. Am I perfect? Absolutely not. Everyone, my family and friends remind me I'm not perfect, but I did my best to provide you this news in a fair and balanced way. I want to know what you think about this. Let me know in the comments section below.
There has been actually some criticism of Bob Woodward that he's been sitting on these tapes he had in conversations with the president more than 12.5 times, some months old, and that maybe they could have been revelations or led to some revelations or maybe quicker action had he released them earlier. The White House, for its part, is responding to a lot of the charges in the book, and Kristen Fisher will take us on that side of the story. Kristen.
Hey, Neil. Well, President Trump is not denying that he intentionally downplayed the virus. Instead, moments ago, he justified it by saying that he didn't want to incite panic. That was how the president responded to one of the biggest revelations in Bob Woodward's new book. The other big headline was that President Trump told Bob Woodward back in February that he believed COVID-19 was much more deadly than the seasonal flu, even though around the same time he was telling the American public that he believed COVID-19 was very similar to the flu. Here's the clip.
It's also more deadly than your strenuous flus. People don't realize we lose 25,000, 30,000 people a year here. This is more deadly. This is 5 per... this is 5% versus 1% and less than 1%, so this is deadly stuff.
Now, that interview was taped on February 7th, very early on in the pandemic. Earlier today, Fox mistakenly aired a graphic saying that it was taped on March 19th. And to be very clear here, there was another recording on March 19th, which is where I believe the person who made that graphic got that date from. But to be very clear, it was back on February 7th that President Trump said that he believed that COVID-19 was much more deadly than the flu. With all of that said, earlier today, Dr. Anthony Fauci actually came to the president's defense on one of these things. Listen.
We would be speaking to the president. We talk about the cold facts. He would get them. Often he would want to, make sure that the country doesn't get down and out about things. But I don't recall anything that was any gross distortion in things that I spoke to him about.
Yeah, so those are two of the big headlines to come from this book, Neil. But, Bob Woodward says that that President Trump granted him 18 on-the-record interviews, and we now know that many of them, if not all of them, were taped. Pretty remarkable, Neil.
That's it, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda. I have the fortune, the honor, the privilege of living the American dream. Definitely check out my introductory video on our channel. I want to help you lead your American dream because I'm the beneficiary of American exceptionalism and of the generosity that exists in our country. I will help you lead your American dream. We release videos at 2 p.m. East Coast time most days of the week. So please click like, please subscribe. Please enable notifications so you get instant updates from us going forward. Now, sometimes YouTube does not send out notifications. So make sure you bookmark youtube.com/ignition time. That's youtube.com/ignition time so that you can come to our channel and you can watch the videos whenever you want. You don't have to be dependent on the YouTube notifications. Follow us on Instagram. Our Instagram handle is ignition_time. That's ignition_time. Follow us on Instagram because we release fun and engaging content on Instagram specifically for our followers. Now, you can also get on our SMS alerts list. Get your cell phone out, send a text message with the word ignition or with the word time to 70,000. That's 70000. So you can get on our SMS list and you can opt out of our SMS at any time. Also, you can get on our email list. Go to ignitiontime.com/alerts. That's ignitiontime.com/alerts. And you can get on our email list. You can opt out of our SMS list or our email list at any time. Once again, my name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you. Please click like, please subscribe, please enable notifications because it helps out the YouTube algorithm. It motivates me and my team because we work hard, we work overtime to bring you this information in real time. Thank you so much for watching. Again, please click like, please subscribe, please enable notifications. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Thanks. Bye.